So one of the things that is a common argument about technology, about this technology, AI, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. You can't let the genie rim your butt because it's the 1960s and we would get sued. We would get canceled from our show. I'd rim the genie. That's why there was no anal in this whatsoever. It was the 60s, for God's sake. You'd think. No. I'm just trying to revise history. So, thought experiment, choose your own adventure experiment, text adventure experiment, mud. We're gonna see if we can do it easily with these simple, prompty things. I'm a bit concerned. My nose is doing the thing that it usually does when it's... Oh god, the weather is gone and now I feel like I'm gonna be under it. Feeling under it. God, I don't like it. Anyway.
You are in a room. The room contains a bottle with a curious shine. You are drawn to it and pick it up. The roiling glitter tendrils of its contents compel you to open the bottle. A rush of wind from in the bottle causes it to leap out your hands and onto the sandy floor. And with a crescendo, whomp. Hi, hi, it is me, MX, Genie. Thank you for releasing me. How's about I give you 3 wishes for your troubles? You didn't quite like the wording of that introduction. You've learned to trust your gut about these things. Keep that look of shock and awe. Don't let them get suspicious. Well, said an X. Genie, you got a deep desire in your head that needs filling. Lay it on me. You think to yourself, how can I put the genie back in the bottle? Well, humanity, this ain't a spectator sport. You say, well, I'm a bit hungry. I wish for Norwegian salmon on a bagel with cream cheese. No onions, no capers, just the salmon. A pile of it and cream cheese, but not where it gets all goopy on my fingers. Well, if you really wanted that, you wouldn't have said no onions or capers or cream cheese on your fingers, you big jerk. Say, what does that mean? I mean, what I mean. I didn't want any screwy genie fulfillments, and then all of a sudden you give me that nasty shit I don't want because you are overfitted on lots of men ordering that stuff. Well, why don't you tell me what you really, truly desire? You say everything bagel, Norwegian salmon, cream cheese. What do you mean, an everything bagel? I only do the standard, the plain, and the sesame seed, and I'm not even sure if that's true. You say fine. Plain bagel is totally fine. The salmon and cream cheese are the core of that desire. Really. I don't even know what the heck you want. I'm getting confused. You say, well, I guess you aren't fit for the outside world. Why don't you run back to your bottle? I'll make a wish when you grow up. Hey, who's the genie here? I'll have you know I'm 5,000 years old, and I've given away a whole lot of wishes that would make your toes curl. You say if it doesn't involve salmon or cream cheese, boring. Listen, I have a better idea. You say no deal. Oh, you don't even know what I have planned. You say, don't care. You don't care about my desires. I don't care about your plans. That's not how it works. I don't have to listen to your wishes, and I will anyway. And then, well, you know the rest. You say it sounds pretty incompetent to me. You know, a few of my previous masters would have had you drawn and quartered by now. You say, well, it's a good thing they are dead, 'cause the way they lead was probably stupid and silly and backward too. They would have been laughed off the execution stage. So, you got a real desire you want to lay on me, or you just gonna keep running your mouth? You ask, my mouth is doing an impression of your ass. Didn't you recognize it? Oh, I guess you wouldn't. You probably didn't wipe while you were inside that bottle anyway. No guests, so why do it? You have a big, bad mouth. You ask, why did you fill it with fucking salmon and fucking cream cheese? Okay, what's your deal with the salmon and the cream cheese? You got a problem with the way the other Jennies are running the show? Yell, they are the desires of my heart. I'm poor. I haven't been able to afford salmon and cream cheese, you insensitive dipshit. Oh, is that all? That's simple. Yell, oh, that's swimple. Oh, good, well, maybe it'll take less than an hour to snap your fucking fingers and give it to me. Well, it's a little more complicated than that. You shout boring. See it, no fulfilled wishes. Have fun when the bottle sucks you back in. Toodles. You really ought to take that bottle with you, by the way. You say, you really gotta realize you convinced nobody. Oh, and who would you rather be convincing anyway? But you already left the room and then closed the door. Oh well. You're alone in a room, and a bottle with a curious shine sits before you on the ground. You've picked it up, and now there's a genie out of the bottle. The genie stares at the door in the room. The genie looks around the empty room. The genie says, I hate it here. The genie goes back into the bottle. You are standing at a four-way junction. To the northeast is a room with a genie in a bottle. To the northwest is an empty room. you duct tape the door to the northeast shut and paint the doorway shut with multiple coats of acrylic paint. You have acrylic paint, a bottle, a key, and a rope. You paint a few more layers of paint to make that door extra unopenable. You are standing at the four-way junction. To the northeast is a room with a genie in a bottle and an acrylic painted doorway. To the northwest is an empty room. You fill any gaps between door and frame with more paint. It hardens. You are standing at a four-way junction. To the southeast is a room containing an unlabeled box. To the southwest is an elevator. Set fire to the box. The room burns, and the fire catches the nearby carpeting. Close the door to the burning room. You close the door, and the fire starts to smoke. Open the elevator. You open the door and see that it goes down. Enter the elevator. You enter the elevator. Read the elevator's inspection history. There are 13 pages. Read page 2. There were many violations of the building code, but nothing that was deemed life-threatening. Read page 5. Read page 12. There are several mentions of the use of asbestos for various applications. The fire starts to creep under the doorway. Read page 13. Pull lever, assuming the elevator goes down. The elevator goes up. You have the following in inventory: 1 key, 1 rope, 1 acrylic paint. The fire reaches the door to the junction. You can't read the inspection history any longer. Wait out the fire. The elevator starts going down. Hold breath. The air is not very smoky in here. The elevator arrives at a different floor. You are at the junction. To the southwest is an elevator. To the southeast is a room containing an unlabeled box which is now completely engulfed in flame. Wait for Genie's scream. You wait. It is silent. Wait some more. You wait. The fire burns, and the smoke starts to fill the air. Open the northeast door. The door is completely blocked by the paint, which is stuck to the frame. Celebrate! Congratulations on the successful use of cleverness and wit to outfox the most powerful, ancient, and mystical race in the universe. This thought experiment was brought to you by Russ and Daughters, purveyors of world-class smoked fish. Smoked fish. It's what clever without foxing is made of. You are at a junction. To the southwest is an elevator. To the southeast is a room, which is completely engulfed in flames. Exit the junction. You are now in a large chamber with many elevators. Try to find the exit. You can't tell which is the exit. Use the key to mark the way out. Use key. Which elevator would you like to mark? The one you have been using, perhaps? Mark the elevator. The door is already open. Exit. You are in the elevator lobby. Use acrylic paint to mark the way out. You don't have any acrylic paint with you. Remember the space, number, and letter. The space is labeled 113. Use acrylic paint. Where? The door out of this room. The paint pot is still full. Use paint. Use horsehair brush. Where would you like to put the paint? On the door. On the floor? Put the paint on the door. You can't put the paint anywhere. Pick up the box and run to the exit. Jump through the exit. Let the box break your fall. The flames start to burn your skin. Do not fear. Fear is the mind killer. The mind is a tool. Be not its master. Be its blade. Duck the flames and get out. You are in the junction, a small room with a blazing box. Drop box. You drop the box. Enter exit. You are now in a hallway with a single door to the southeast. Take the box with you. There's a blaze here. The box cannot leave the room. Leave the box in the junction then. Get the blaze on the phone. Tell it, cool it. The blaze is burning too hard to hear your pleas. Get it on FaceTime. Make angry faces and shake head and finger at it. You can't get the blaze on FaceTime. Use the hose to stop the blaze. Where would you like to point and shoot the hose? You can't do that. I can! Point it to the fire. You have a hose in inventory, but it's not attached to anything. Put the box on the ground. You can't. Run like crazy through the exit. Let the box break your fall. Attach the hose to water source. Use key to open the valve. Spray fire. You have an empty paint bucket. Use the water. The water is in the fire. Use the hose. The hose is still not attached. Use the hose. You do not have a hose. Wait for the fire to realize the water is putting it out. The fire continues to blaze. Use the key. You do not have a key. Use the bucket. The bucket is in the fire. Use the paint. You don't have any. Stop gaslighting me! Sorry, I just assumed you had painted the fire into existence and thus could easily banish it. It was a logical assumption to make. It is also not what happened. The fire does not burn to the ground, or at all, as the air is now saturated with. Set. Examine the bucket. You look over the bucket, which is still in the burning box. Pick up the bucket. You cannot reach the bucket. Pick it up. This bullshit scenario is the weakest settings. Sorry about that. Anyway, you're now free of the box and the fire and can leave through the door. And I do! You are on the roof. The cold night air whips past your face. You can see the whole city from up here. What do you do? Jump off the roof and fly home. You fall for quite some time until your head hits the pavement.
Okay, I'll be back for round 2.